Hello everybody and welcome to a Spotlights on. Please knock on my door. Painful memories come flooding back. You have returned. Of course, I have played a little bit of this myself. Resume from Tuesday. This is a game where you play through an entire week as somebody with heavy social anxiety. And I actually kind of would like to restart a full game, which I cannot do. So we'll just be continuing playing this game. I'll play through on Monday, and there's 3 modes in this game. One where you just play through the story and everything ends up happening no matter what. One where you can see the numbers and they will impact what you do. So for instance, you can see I'm at 55 and +2, which is what I'll get when I go to sleep. And one where you don't see that 55 number, but it still is there behind the scenes. For the purpose of this video, I figured I'm going to start a game where we can see the numbers so you guys have some idea about what's going on. I personally like the idea most of you not being able to see what your actions do, but they still matter. As I said, there's also a mode where your actions really don't matter that much at all. What time is it actually? 6:20 PM. Don't know if I've brushed my teeth yet, but let's take a quick shower. You see?
I love autumn. I know you do too. Those few precious weeks when all the leaves turn into a vibrant mix of red and yellow. Doesn't it make you happy that there is such a large tree just outside the kitchen window? I can't help but look forward to what it will look like. Somehow, it's kind of empowering to know that something can stand alone and still look so beautiful, if only for a brief moment.
So yeah, there is definitely also a voiceover, and looking out the window actually did a lot of good for me, holy shit. Maybe just a little good. As you could see before, oh, I can't do it again. When you've got 80 like score, you can call your dad and that's the end of the game. I don't know what happens if you can't call your dad at the end of the week. We're gonna find out, maybe. Let's make a sandwich. Sometimes you can only make a half sandwich or a sandwich. Sometimes you can actually make a meal. I think that has something to do with your mental state at the time of making food. I don't know for sure. What I do want to mention though is that this actually is a pretty good game. It's not really a game per se, it's more of an interactive short film almost. Animated short film. That's how I would describe it, I think. Maybe I should get rid of that chair. It takes up unnecessary space. It hasn't been used in a long time, unsurprisingly. You can keep eating or think of the problem. This will be more immediately, as far as I understand at least, this option will be more immediately useful to your score. Meaning your current score, which is I think 61 at the moment, doesn't change. This, I think, changes your score probably downwards, but little number like +2, 3, 4, 5, I think increases over time if you do this, because this is actually like you're dealing with your problems and here you're just putting them away. As you can see. Long term, that's the better option. That used to be her spot in front of the window. The sun is embracing her as if surrounded by a golden halo. Will anyone else stop thinking about this? Ever take that seat? This is a perfect... I mean, I lost 2, gained 1, so negative... negative at the end of the day, but it doesn't matter. After all, I don't have the energy to find anyone who could fill that chair. Someone like that might not even exist. What time is it? Let's wash the dishes. Requires 20. At least I can do that pretty much always, I think. I honestly think that this game, for being as minimalistic as it is, let's watch some television actually. For being as minimalistic as it is, it actually does pretty good job of conveying the emotion and the feelings that come with this social anxiety, and this guy's got real bad social anxiety, as you can tell. Probably already. The tree outside my window, I'm going to miss it, but I have to leave. This apartment holds too many bad memories.
Exhaustion. The natural result of not sleeping enough.
Amy, why can't I get her off my mind? Talking with her made me remember last year. She would crush me in Street Fighter 15. Her strategy was always to use let me sleep or button mashing. You see, this is more interesting, because now I have to choose between my mental health and my sleep. I have to leave at 7:30 in the morning to get to work. And if you don't get to work on time, like, your boss gets all pissy and stuff, and you don't want that. So I'm going to go to sleep right away, because I need that, honestly. And I probably could have spent a little bit of time thinking about stuff. I'd rather just have enough time in the morning to take a shower. If you don't mind.
Wednesday. Why? Halfway to what exactly?
Let's brush our teeth,
Rest?
take a quick shower, make a sandwich.
I'm starting to realize that this week is no different from any other.
The dialogue as well is very, very well written. I've got to give him that. I was expecting some dialogue here. Yeah, the dialogue is actually very well written. It's a little bit in your face at times, but in my honest opinion, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I need to eat anyway, but what time is it? I've got plenty of time to eat. You see, I can make a meal now, but it's morning, so I'm not going to. It's really good that it's a third-person voiceover talking to you as the character. This might actually... I might not be on time. Keep eating. I don't have time to think. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, character. I know you're going through some horrible shit, but I need to get to work on time. As you can see, that's not good for my mental health. Go to work. My program is broken again. I already have asked Will for help twice today. He just got back to work at his desk. At his own desk. Sorry, I was distracted for a second. I've only known him for a few months, but so far he's been uncommonly dependable and forthcoming. He cracks knuckles and stares at the screen, as he usually does, when in deep thought. He mentioned that he had a deadline this afternoon. I walk over and ask for help, requires 40. Try to fix the problem myself. You see, honestly, if I were the person here, I probably would try to fix it myself and horribly fail, and then end up either making a huge issue for myself or walking over anyway later and asking for help anyway. The best option here, of course, in the context of the game and just mental health in general, is to ask somebody for help. Don't make yourself scared of the world around you and interact with some people. Maybe they'll be nice to you And I am over 40 points, so let's walk over to him and ask for help. This game, in that way, also shows you the worse you are, the harder it is to get out of it. Because if you're under 40, you can't take a quick shower anymore, you can't do these social things. And altogether, the game, and that represents life of course, in general is going to get a lot more difficult for you. While if you're above that 40 or 50 mark for some things, you can choose the things which will help improve you even more. If you're under 20, you can't even wash the dishes, which means that at some point you can't eat because all your clean plates will be gone. And this happens at the end of every workday. You write in your diary. There's also... yeah, alright. I'm not going to read this. There's these little things for today. It's not really anything useful. You can click on these things. It doesn't really do anything. It's just fun that they're interactive. You can use this. I always like to read these. Call Amy, maybe. I haven't heard from Amy lately. We should chill sometime, Johnny. Don't feel bad, man. You'll pull through, from Will. As you can see, there's all kinds of colleagues which are nice. And let's return home because I'm getting anxious. All these people around me. Starts off with making myself some food. Again, I can only make a half sandwich or a sandwich. I don't quite understand why.
I've been thinking about the meaning behind those numbers. I'm not so sure if mental fortitude is a good name for them. It's not really about fortitude, is it? It's more about the realization, or perhaps strength? The hidden force that you need to open up to someone. I don't really know how to put it in words. I hope you'll make sense of it.
The reason I choose chat here over games is in a game where you can't see the numbers. You don't know chat requires 60. But the fact that it requires 60 probably means it's better for your mental health than gaming, which you can always do apparently. Hey, long time no see. I've been leaving post-it notes on your desk, but I feel like never really talking anymore. Are you alright? Log out or answer. Wow, this is never going to do anything positive, right? Because if you're just logging out, you make people think you don't want to talk to them, which is the case, but don't make them feel that way. That's horrible! Amy, since you wrote this to me about 3 days ago, anytime I log in, the words are still there, staring at me. Are you alright? I don't know what to answer. 3 moving dots appear next to her name. She seems to be writing another message right now. Just gotta wait. It's pretty good for my mental health so far. Getting close to that 80 mark and I can call my dad. Hey, are you there? I can see you online, silly. I hesitantly right back. We ended up talking for almost 20 minutes. I've missed this. I don't want it to end, but then she has to log out. I miss her. Also, I should point out, I think there are multiple different endings, because there's 3...
Sometimes you can lie to yourself, enough for it to sound reasonable. Sometimes it's born from an experience which etches itself in like a trauma.
I should point out, I think there are multiple different endings, because in the credits of the game it lists 3 voice actors and you only ever hear one at the end of the game calling you. So I think depending on who you have the best interaction with, that person calls you. So that means that different endings. I also do assume there might be a bad ending where you can't call your dad because you're just horrible at this game and making good decisions, but hey, what do I know? Why is she so nice to me? Why is he? What did I ever... I can't repay him. Who? Or maybe you can't repay him. The reason I'm doing this now while I'm bad, by the way, is because I looked at the clock and was like, oh, I've got plenty of time not to sleep yet. But not asking for help, by not asking for help anymore, by doing better for myself, by trying not to depend on Will, tomorrow I will try harder. Alright, we're coming up on 10 PM. I think it's time to go to sleep. Main character. That being said, we're getting awfully close to 80 at this point. Tomorrow I'll do my best. I won't fail again. I don't want to fail. Of course you don't want to fail. Who wants to fail? And that remains at 74.
Thursday. Try
Starved.
not to
Didn't I
remember
eat?
that this will all repeat itself.
I'm pretty sure I ate before. Didn't I eat last night? Why am I starved? I guess 2 sandwiches a day isn't quite enough to sustain a full-grown man, to be honest. Yeah, that's true. But still.
Seems like you're almost there. Only a small bit left to go. Good job on making it this far. I'm looking forward to seeing you take it all the way.
We're almost at 80. We're gonna make it fairly easily, actually. I think we're making it... I don't know, because first game I played I didn't see the numbers. I was just playing through the story. But I think we're doing better so far. Possibly. Than I was before, which you didn't see, so you can't really compare it. Let's go to work and then after work call Dad, because I think at that point we'll have 80. This is the day of the presentation that I have with Will. He's counting on me. What if I screw up? Go to work. Just go to work. Don't think about it. You see, sometimes you need to take time to think about stuff, and sometimes you just need to not think and do shit. I'm standing alone in the conference room where I will be doing the showcase with Will. It's confusing. I will be doing the showcase with Will. I go through the papers I brought and I realize I'm missing a document featuring a key graph. My pulse increases as I frantically go through the papers one more time. Neither John nor Will have arrived yet. The showcase is due in 5 minutes. My hands begin to shake. I run back to my desk for the missing documents, or assume Will has. It's... Honestly, this is a difficult one. Let's just run back. It's probably gonna mean we're late. I would assume. Dad, I screwed up. There was this really important showcase I had to do with Will, and I don't really care about reading all of this, to be honest. Let's go back home, see how our mental health is doing, and then call Dad. Let's wash dishes
Since when did you start to enforce a lock on your own mouth?
Before anything else.
You were such a talkative kid. But that all changed round high school time. Now, years later, the key is lost. And you even start to tell yourself the most heinous lies. that your friends probably all really hated you. Fear chat messages. Fear seeing people you knew on the street. When you go that far and distort the past, bonds that used to be strong get eroded and easily broken. The worst part about it all is that those people might really miss you. But you will never know.
That piece of dialogue especially is... Everything is well written, but that especially just... It's so fucking good. I regret not running faster. I regret working. I regret meeting Will. Let's just sleep. Tomorrow's Friday. After Friday, we'll have a little bit of a weekend. And that'll be the end of the game. As you can see, it's already past 7 now, so I might be late to work, but I've been pretty good.
Finally.
At being on time.
Is almost over.
For this playthrough.
But what comes next?
Well, next week.
Just have to wait and see.
I don't know if it's a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. One of the days. I don't know if it was on video, but there's also a point where he says, I have to get through this week. Not literally he says this, but something that pretty much means it is. He says that I have to get through this week, but what for? Because next week will be the same again. That's also a pretty powerful line of dialogue, which... I don't know the background of the person that made this game, but I do feel like maybe the story, or at least the feelings behind the story of social anxiety, are very much based on his own experiences. Because honestly, I think it's too good to just be based on like theoretical stuff. I think there's some like practical purpose, not purpose, well, there's practical purpose for the game. Experience, I wanted to say, behind this. I'm gonna be late for work anyway, so might as well do something that's good for my mental health. Yeah. Well, I say good for my mental health. On the long term, I mean, of course. I remember sitting in my room, crying my eyes out. I'm very late for work, holy fuck. But I'm building up quite a bit of headroom. I'm gonna get added to my title tonight, so that's good.
Don't you remember what I said? Work starts at 8. It takes you 30 minutes to get there. That means that you have to leave at 7:30. Get it right, goddammit.
7:52. It's not that big a deal. I think it's like pre-programmed that the last day you can't even get on time for work. Probably. I'm standing in front of the large metal doors of our office building. My legs feel like iron, hands dry and cold. The clouds above shift in dark and grey. It's going to rain soon. I don't want to take another step forward. I go inside. Requires 30. Return home. Let's go inside. Because otherwise our boss will be kinda pissed, I imagine. Takes its toll on my mental health. I'm fully aware. Quite a bit, actually. Holy shit. Please stop. Thank you. Please continue. Please. Keep on going. Keep on going. That'll get us to 62. We have been higher. Alright, Friday evening. Weekend's almost here. Let's first and foremost make ourselves a sandwich.
Later,
Alright.
while poaching through your parents' cellar, through your old things, you might find an old t-shirt with smeared scribbles and names on it. Thoughts left for you from your childhood friends, kept down there for decades, waiting for the right moment to remind you that the hate you see in other people's eyes might not be real. Cutting yourself off from the world can be a good form of self-defense. Oh yes, it's also a good way of ending up like this. Empty apartment, empty rooms, empty life. Until you find that memento and wake up. That is, if you ever find it.
I'm going to leave it there for this spotlight. So I'm not going to show you the end of the game because, one, it's a first impression. So if I show you the end of the game, it's just not right, is it? And second of all, I want you to play this game for yourself. You have seen how I deal with things now. You have seen pretty much the body of the game, but there's a lot of things you could do differently, and I want you to do that. So go down below in the description and check out this game. It's on Steam for 13 euros or your regional equivalent. At the moment, until November the 1st, it is on sale 25% off, making it under 10 euros, which it is a short game, admittedly. So because of that, it might not be worth it to you. I'll be honest about that. And you might want to wait until it's 50% off at some point, or maybe even more. But I really think if you're like interested in social anxiety in general, or in a genuinely interesting and well-crafted narrative experience, not a great adventure game, just a short, well-crafted narrative experience, it will be worth the 13 euros. Until the next time though, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you have enjoyed the video, which hopefully you have. I'll see you all next time with another game. Bye.